We have got a huge free plugin today worth 149 buckaroos. This is the VCA compressor from Softube. Now, this VCA compressor is based on the legendary, the famous, the immaculate DBX 160 compressor. There's a great article about this on mixonline.com. I'll put it in the description below if you want to learn about the history of this unique compressor. There's a lot of interesting information for those who are into, who are audio nerds and want to learn that stuff here. But again, $149 value. Now it's a compressor, so we pretty much understand how to use it, right? If you've ever used a compressor, you understand, here's our compression, here's our ratio, we got our attack time, our release time. We have things like the high frequency makeup. So that thing that can happen with compression where it feels like you're losing some high end. Right, we can make up some of that if you feel like it's, clamping down on your high frequencies. You can have a stereo link, which is the default, or you can do that on a dual mono. You have a punch, which basically dials down some of that low end and boosts the high end a bit, and basically lets those mid frequencies, punch a little harder and activate that compression a little bit more. Same thing for our side chain filter. We understand what these things are, right? We can dial out some of that low end that might be triggering the compression too much there. You do have an external side chain as well. We understand how that works. Your output here, your output drive, and even a dry wet. So if you want to do some, parallel compression things. So say I really want to drive this a lot to really compress it, right? Really pull up that output drive. Right, that's on full wet. Can have that be parallel compression right there. Okay, so that's the basics of the interface. I guess we can also drag it here. Make it a bit larger. You have presets here, or you can access them right from this screen as well. So let's go back to a drum kick. I'll turn it off for now. So this is just a kick drum. As you can tell, of course, some snare bleed through. Let's pop this on. There we go. So just with that preset, it already sounds much better. I would adjust it a bit using some parallel compression there. And that all looks pretty good. All right, so it already sounds punching through a bit more. Bring in the snare, maybe turn the that off for now. Throw a compressor in there. And why not just start with the preset? They have a lot of good presets in here already. So let's go for maybe a fast snare on that. Don't like that. There we go. Adjust it just a bit here. The attack, high frequency makeup. Do punch on that. And bypass it. So yeah, punches right through. Bring in our kick. A little loud on the snare. We'll pull that down. Very cool. And of course, go on through your, track. We have hi-hats we can bring in. We have overheads we can bring in, rooms we can bring in, toms, etc., right? So maybe I want compressor on the overheads. There's even presets in here for the overheads. Of course, you can dial this in yourself, but the presets are actually pretty good. So here's a preset for overheads, for example. Nice and compressed. Now I really want to compress that. Really drive it here. For some reason, if you really want your overheads to take over, So it hits much, much harder. Of course, you can turn everything off. So Studio One has this cool trick where you just hit this button right here. It turns all your plugins off. Really love that feature. Boring. Let's pop this back on. There we go. Now it hits super hard, punches through. Sounds great. Of course, you can use this on any sort of source that you want. Maybe on something like bass, for example. Draw things out. Let's bypass there. Back on real quick. Now, Softube goes a little bit further. Let's do this on maybe this. What do we have here? Percussion, I think. Yeah. So Softube goes further than just giving you the compressor. They also add in some modern things that you might want in a compressor. So you might see these icons up here. So we can click that. Now we have independent control of our input signal. We can really drive that into the compressor if we want. And don't worry about clipping the input of your compressor here. You can really drive this and get some of that analog goodness if you wish. You can also do the same thing for the output here. So we have independent control of the overall output, which is really cool to have that built in. You also have things like a high pass you can turn on, headroom, and you have phase invert all built in to these Softube plugins, which is a pretty cool feature to have, you know? So I really want to drive that to get some of that sort of non-linear distortions. Really compress the crap out of it here. Now you bypass that. So we really smash that. Of course, we could go to maybe like a gentle compression preset or anything you want. You know, even do like guitar, vocals, things like that. But maybe just gentle compression on that just to even things out. There you go. Nice and gentle. So if you want to pick this up for yourself, a $149 value, head right over here. Of course, the link will be in the description below. You'll have to have a Softube account. So if you don't have one, you know, just create one and then come to this page, which of course will be in the description below, and choose Get Free. It will be added to your account, and then you can install it with the Softube plugin manager. Everybody has a plugin manager today, and the Softube one is actually pretty good. The legendary DBX 160. Go pick up the VCA compressor for free from Softube right now. You have to get it. This is March 1st, so you have to get it before the end of March. So head over there. The link is in the description below to pick up your free VCA compressor from Softube.